$2 million business loan without collateral, no hard credit checks, bad credit is acceptable, and lower documentation. Even with good credit, with collateral, up to 5 million, 10 million, 100 million plus. And how about 0% interest for 6 to 18 months? Hi, welcome in. This is Michael with Viral Funding Solutions. In just a second, I will be jumping into the share screen to reveal to you all of these examples, how you can realistically get to your funding goal, whether it is the first time, second time, or multiple, how to have a long-term strategic partnership and roadmap for more success, your expectations, and a lot more. But before I get started, please give me a hashtag live in the comments. Let me know where you are tuning in from. How is your day going? Please give me hashtag replay if you'll be watching later on. Hashtag team replay. So I want to clear the air right now before I jump into the share screen. We're at the new month here in November. I just released a video the other day on revenue increases, revenue dips, how to be careful about when you go start an application, and knowing that your offer can get readjusted if you get one and you accept it, you sign the contracts, you want this funding, and then we do a bank verification to make sure everything looks clean, and then you have a revenue dip. So we had to readjust that offer, for example, from 60 to 40, from 40 to 20. We find out you didn't add another credit partner, that it was 50-50 split ownership. And we looked at your credit and it had to draw it down and more. So I'll leave that video for you down below, as well as SBA 7A, idle content, PPP. I just released one. I actually broadcasted it out to you. And if I have yet to get back to you via email, the questionnaire form, perhaps it's a text message, direct messenger, in other ways, I will get back to you. So please be patient with me. Now, let me jump into the share screen. And I won't be doing this live tomorrow. Usually I go live on Thursdays, but I want to do this today because I'll be quite busy. So this may look familiar to you. Maybe you've seen it in the past. Maybe you haven't, or you just need a refresher, and I'll add some more examples as we move along. So this here says 100,000 to 30,000 business loan offer and 13 plus in free exclusive bonuses breakdown. Right here, we have end of month offers. And before I get into that deeply, 1 second. Oh my. Like, I'm seeing people who are responding back to my emails right now. Please take the time. I broadcasted a PPP loan alternative. If you are going to open up this email, please take the time to go through the content. I'm questioning if people who are even replying back to me right now have even gone through it. I don't have the time. I don't want to watch a video. I don't want to go through the No, you're doing yourself a huge disservice if you don't take the time. So bookmark that if you have to, and then come back to it. I'm not saying this in a negative way. I'm just tired. I've done a few videos earlier. It's just the truth. Don't waste my energy and time with something if you haven't even taken the time to go through it thoroughly. So at the top of this, you have end of month offers. That isn't relevant because we just started this month. But what you should know is if you have an offer at the end of the month, do not wait until the next month, because by then you'll have to submit another month of bank statements and or a month-to-date bank transaction report. And do you really want to have to do that? Will I lose you in the process because you didn't want to do that? So you can accept that anytime today. After today, we will require another month's bank statement or a month-to-date bank transaction report. So at any time in that day, you can reply back with a yes or a no, however we have this set up. So over here, you're battling for the right offer when you have the right expectations. Does it exist? No. Having the right offer doesn't exist for everybody. I would say over 90% of people who come to an application, they don't get what they want. Even if it's business credit, I want a credit card, I want a credit line, I want to at least have 10, 20,000. Well, you can't even begin that. You can probably start off with 2,000, 500, a starter business credit card. So how do we work our way up to that is another question, and I can work with you on that. Now, again, I'm tired because I did a few videos, not because I'm tired of people. And it gets to a point where I have so many individuals who just don't get it. I'm a very patient person, but like, here's an example. If you're going through an application from me and it turns out you have an offer and my lender has been trying to contact you, that is unprofessional for you to go through an application, get an offer, and then not give any kind of feedback. Hey, if you're not interested, just say no. But don't leave an offer open because that does more harm than good. You're on the lender's watch list. I wasn't happy with that. Well, who will ever know if you were or not without discussing that with someone? Show up, be punctual, responsible, and accountable. Because when you come and apply through me, whether it's a public or a private lender, and I work with the best, you're not just working with anybody and going through an application with just anybody and everybody. It's a robot system, or it's somebody who doesn't really know their stuff. So back to the topic at hand here. The right expectations, having the right offer doesn't normally exist. Unless you have collateral and you're like, I want 150,000, my property appraises that, or my equipment, I can do equivalent to that, if not a little bit less or more. Okay. Do you want to give that up? Yeah. Okay. And you wanted better terms? You wanted better rates? Okay. It exists for you. So the person who won't qualify for an MTA, oh, this is an example I was talking about for somebody who was doing an equipment financing setup. So I'll skip past that one and we'll get into the examples. So here's an example, and I've moved around numbers so it isn't the actual person. When you fill out my questionnaire, which I'll show you in a moment, it may look something like this. What is the funding amount you are seeking? What is your actual credit score? What is your time in business, or business credit, excuse me? Time in business, years or months, please specify. You have 1 year and 4 months. What are your monthly sales? You're generating 75,000, and that's on the lowest month out of the last 3 months. What is your annual gross sales / revenue? You're doing well over $1 million. What are your average monthly sales within the last 6 months? What are the highest monthly sales within the last 6 months? Average daily bank balance, where are you sitting on that? What are you using these funds for? What business industry are you in? How about your business name? Your average monthly revenue? Any additional notes you'd like to share? Yes, looking to expand the business and increase the marketing and advertising budget with more inventory too. So an individual who has this type of a setup, I can already know without looking at the bank statements what will happen. Now, it's a different story when I have the bank statements and I can see and I can give it an even better pre-underwritten file. But if you're sitting on having a 540 FICO credit score, don't expect to get a monthly repayment. If you're not sitting at least a 660 FICO credit score with 25, if not 20,000 deposited per month, 250,000 or 300,000 and above in annual gross revenue, what's your debt to income? That's something else we look at if we have to ask for more returns on top of bank statements. Without 2+ years time in business, which they don't have here, which is 1 year, 4 months. They don't have business credit. How are we going to report this to the credit bureaus if you don't have no business credit? Why would a term loan lender look at your application and go, well, you haven't been putting anything underneath your business? We can't give you a term loan lender, let alone a line of credit, let alone a lump sum. An SBA lender will be even more scrutinizing, equipment financing, etc. Now, there are other options available that we can explore, but the question is, with the 540, let me come back into this screen. FICO, look right there. You have no business credit, another red flag. You have low time in business. That's not exactly a red flag, but I would prefer 2 years, if not 5+ years. Your monthly sales, okay, your strong revenue, right? You're in the green here. You're like, oh, everything looks clean when we're talking about revenue. So what implication will your revenue have when it comes to your credit? Well, a tier lender would look at this, but then you have no time in business. You don't have business credit. You don't have the right credit score. You're not even in the 600s. So it is naive to be thinking that you will get at least 12 months, 12 to 24 months. You wanted a 60-month term. You wanted a 72-month term without business credit, with less than a 660 FICO. Maybe not the right revenue. So in this example, we have to start somewhere. What is that somewhere? That's what I'm here for. I'm speaking to a person right now, and I'm speaking to multiple people, and it's not exhausting to me. I can only imagine what they've been going through and then what they had to. And a lot of them being scammed, a lot of them being overpromised and underdelivered. Do you want that happening to you? I had a business owner the other day. Where has he been? I've been sending them emails respectfully. Oh, I got it in advance. I already got money. Where have you been when I've been trying to help you? You've been actually responding back to me thinking that I didn't respond. And then I send them more information. Now that'll be time to tell. But you are not punctual. Let's face it. The truth is you may be lacking a character flaw. What it comes back to is who you are as a person. I'm not working with somebody who has that problem. Like, I don't want to have to put myself in a position where I'm energy and time-wise working with my underwriters, my lender or lenders, my team, who has been trying to contact you if you have an offer or try to get a hold of you, but you've been negligent. You've been just, I don't know. I don't want that. I want smooth. I want somebody who's going to not create friction, not continue to pull that resistance band. Now, every person's situation is different. You will be catered to what you need. Does that make sense? Now, each person has individual components. Just depends on what we have to look at. So you may get an email like this from one of us. Here is your offer. Of course, credit is an issue. Congrats, your business has been approved for the funding in the amount of $30K, $40K, $50K. Once you pay off this funding for 65 business days, you become a client in good standing. In the days, it depends on what your term is. Halfway there. We can get add-on funds in between that time if necessary. You become a client in good standing, and you may be eligible for additional funding at much better rates and terms. Please review the offer below and let us know if you would like to move forward with this funding, or should we close your file? Close your file. Do you understand where somebody puts to close your file? Please let us know. Here, let me put this in red. And I'm not saying this to be aggressive, but it does get frustrating at times, because as patient as I am, and I normally don't get ever do I get frustrated. Never. But one person just recently, it's getting on my nerve that they have the nerve to go through an application. I called them multiple times. Okay, you may have family reasons, or there are other things you couldn't get to a phone call, but you can send an email. You can send a text. Even if it's something so small. Where are you? My freaking lender, Michael, he's not responding. I don't know what to do with him. If he doesn't respond back, I'm going to have to move. I got to move my money. And John or Jim or Sally over here is probably intentionally doing it. I'm not saying they are. Perhaps you may be in a situation where you're intentionally doing it, but you're not giving feedback. Whenever I go get funding, I don't want it. I decline it. I don't want it. Here's why I don't want it. It's not enough to say I don't want it, because your belief is that you should be getting a longer term or better rates or more funding, whatever it is. without knowing the parameters. This person here, they intentionally may have looked at their offer and saying, I'm not responding back to them. I don't want this. Yeah, but you don't know what you're getting yourself into if you don't communicate with me. I almost guarantee you, and this happens, people are like, I wanted a monthly repayment. Yeah, but you don't have the profile. You do not have the credit profile. You do not have the time in business. You do not have the revenue. You don't even have business credit established on all three business credit bureaus. So if you're in here watching and for the first time thinking, man, this guy is just something else, I'm never like this. And I'm not saying this out of a negative or an aggressive way. I'm saying this, if you're hearing me, out of tough love. It's not just going in one ear and out the other. So here we labeled what they would be getting, their payback over what period. This person ended up getting only 6 months. They have stronger revenue. Credit sucks. How can we give you 20 months or whatever you want when you have stronger revenue, but you suck when you have your credit? Let's just say it for how it is. Perhaps I have been babying you guys and to think something else, which is not the truth. I haven't been. But the truth is this. When you are getting business funding, I went live on TikTok earlier. Does your benefit exceed your repayment? I don't even want you to go get funding. If you haven't even answered that question, don't go get funding. Don't even get a business credit card. Don't even get a line of credit. Credit line hybrids, installment loans, credit cards on top of all that. A personal loan. If you cannot figure out a solution in that blueprint of yours, and where I'm taking, oh, I wanted 100,000, but I can understand that I have to start off with 30,000, and I can discuss all of this with you in a very nice manner. How do I get from 30K to 100K? Can I do that in less than 12 months, Michael? Yes, you can. Here's how you do it. First of all, if you took 30,000, what are you using this 30K for? Just sitting in your account? You want it to sit on your lap for 6 months? Or are you taking this money and putting it to use immediately? The majority of us think like a home mortgage. We think about commercial real estate. We think in terms of insurance. We think about auto loans, the EIDL. Let's just keep getting deferments and having it work this way. It's not what this is. A lot of private lenders, if you don't offer up collateral, guess what? You may get up to 5 years, maybe up to 10 years if it's an SBA loan, if you get it. But do you have a plan if you are in a pinch or you have a growth or expansion project that you're taking this money and you are going to double, triple, quadruple it? If I'm not giving money to people, even if it's my own money, even if it is, if a family member, oh yeah, you want 30,000 for what? For payroll expenses, you're going to be cash flowing negative if you're not already? It's too expensive, Michael. You're telling me I got to pay back 38,000 on 30,000? Each to their own. So you don't have an understanding of how this money will multiply. It's not going to be making you more than 38,000. And even if you don't need it for that, does it make sense? You guys don't want the truth. I have the metrics, I have the data. Even when I send out an email, guess who responds more to those PPP, SBA EIDL? When I don't send you PPP, SBA EIDL content, like you guys want that. You guys want all of the gooey ooey. Let me find somebody who talks about EIDL online, talks about a PPP loan. I want free money. All I want are grants when I can qualify for more. When? But I just want to tune into a guy who talks to me like everything's okay. I'll wake up tomorrow if I go start this application and I'll have money. You're lying to yourself. And so let me come back into this document. So here are just some quick underwriting guidelines. I won't go through all that. But you guys can rewind. I'm a bit tired. I've went and did a few videos before this. But you have everything you need there. And this is stuff that I can show you. If you fill out that questionnaire form down below, I'll show you more. Example 2. You're looking for 100,000. Okay, you have the credit profile of a 700. Oh, right, you have business credit. How much? What do you have? What's your time in business? Oh, 2 years and 4 months. What are your monthly sales? Strong. Revenue, great. Annual gross sales, you're generating 2.5 million. Great. There's more that I can add on that, which is part of the form. Expansion, construction, okay. Looking to expand the business and increase the marketing and advertising budget with more inventory too. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. Oh, you're averaging 90,000. Okay, right. So what you guys don't see a lot of the time, you want an increase? Are you on a downhill way of getting funding? Like, are you recently going upwards in funding, or are you going backwards? It's sickening to me how many people I talk to who get funding and don't even understand the heck what they're doing. People who come to me and go, yeah, I have a funding that I took out like 5, 6, 7 months ago. I'm paying on. Yeah, can you help me, man? Can you help me? You don't even know what you're getting yourself into. And this is what my content serves as. Can we consolidate it? If not, or so, can we do a restructuring setup? What can we do? Are you over leveraged? Are you not? I have people in my inbox right now who just don't freaking get it. And don't say, there's a part of you that, yeah, you never say never. But you have to learn and know when to fold your cards. Learn when it's time, when it isn't. Here's another example. Funding amount, they want 22,000. The time in business, they have 13 years. Credit score of a 670. Business credit, yes. Your monthly sales, they're generating around 10,000. Average monthly sales, 20K to 49K. Drop down, what do they need to use the funds for? For COVID relief. 100% business operational expenses, around 50% for 50% of that being consolidation. Okay, what you need to be using it for. Well, guess what? Okay, maybe a line of credit would work, maybe not a lump sum, but you're going to be a client who looks for business credit, lines of credit. That's what you're going to be doing, regardless. So I know this situation. Funding amount, 40,000, time in business, 5 years. Credit, 660, no business credit. They have stronger revenue. Use of funds for working capital. Funding amount, they want 600,000. Time in business, they have 8 years. Actually, this is a different one. Let's get that one. But they don't get a business term loan. You don't have business credit. You're barely sitting on 660. Is it going to come back down? You have the time. You have the revenue. But the rest of that doesn't make sense. Now, there are more examples. I'm going to just move this on over. Okay. When I'm not tired, I usually would take more time to do these. But I want to get into the recap. I'm not necessarily disappointed with you for a lack of education and a lack of understanding. I'm more disappointed with the majority of people because they don't put themselves in my shoes. I'm always in your shoes, personally and in business. I'm always thinking. But when it comes to being reciprocated, yeah, there are the majority of you that will do it. I'm not saying it's you per se. But if you're that individual who's shady, who's just hard to work with, god damn, like nobody wants to work with that. Nobody wants that. A lender today told me, Michael, this guy's foolish. Not like that, but basically it's what I got out of it. Like, this is full of, like, what are they doing applying if they're not getting any, they're not going to give any kind of response back. They can say no for what I care, but they're being unresponsive. That is horrendous. That shows me who you are as a person. I don't care how about you operate your business. That shows me who you are. That's a character flaw. Like your credit, Personal credit, that's a character flaw. It's an indication of your character, your morality. So if you can't even get on board with responding to somebody whose energy and time they're putting in, then go. Nobody's got time for that. So I'll do this for about another minute. I'm an introvert. Make my life easy and I will make yours exceptionally easy. Don't bend around the fence. Tell it like it is. Don't give me bullshit when you shouldn't be. Don't give me that tug of war. I'm pulling the resistance band. I'm adding more friction, because I never go through that with the people who know what they want and what they're doing. But when you are that person, good Lord, like, please get me through this with the least amount of energy and time. Please don't have them waste my energy and time. And I'm thinking these things through. So that's what I want to leave this video at. It's not like I'm a negative person. I'm not, never have been. I have very strong positive thoughts, strong mentality. And you got to attack this with the right information, the right type of action, lower that resistance, that threshold, that friction. And everything will be fine. I got you. But if you're fighting and you're letting your character be pushed onto me, I'm not having any of it. So if you want to work with the best, I don't say that lightly. I vetted the best underwriters, the best lenders, so you're not being scammed. You're not having to worry if I go to this direct lender or brokerage, what would be the result of it? How do they use my information? Are they sending it out to other third parties? And so much more. One second. I don't know what they're responding back to. Yeah, I'm getting these emails from individuals. If you're one of those, please, you showed me you didn't even go through it. Period. Now you expect me to go reply back asking you, what do you mean? Like, that's another step where I'm already, can you be more specific? Yes, let's do what? Is this going to happen? What do you mean is going to happen? I don't have time. I'm working. So I just had to send you a quick, okay, but get back on that and send me the proper message. I didn't ask of you to send it to me like that. Why'd you do that? I put it in clear details what you needed to do. You haven't even done that. Where have you been the past 5 to 10 days? Where's that checkpoint just to say, hey, Michael, I'm still working on it. Thank you. You don't know how much that means to me. But when you're out there trying to see what you can get and it just doesn't make sense, you have to be very, very careful about what you do. I'm tired of seeing people struggle, seeing all these scams and not getting the right offers, and you're not even opening up the emails that I'm sending you or the text messages. You're being unresponsive, unresponsible, not accountable. And people wonder why I don't necessarily message them as soon as possible. It's because I'm busy. But it's also because at that next point of our communication, you haven't even done what I asked of you, man. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, just please do what is being asked of you. Is that too much to ask for? There's clarity and then there's help. There's two differences. I have to work. I have to put and devote my energy and time to people who actually are serious. And if you're not that person, then step out of my way. Just please. You're gonna be diddle daddling. You're gonna be jumping through the flowers, just seeing whatever, and oh, here's one company, here's another one, and then just doing whatever you please. Then do it, but please don't let it affect me in how I do my work. All right. That is everything from me. Please look down below in the description. It isn't there now, but when this is then on the replay, I should have everything there. And for all help, please look down below. There should be the questionnaire form. Please fill that out. Get it submitted back to me, where then I will be able to evaluate, analyze, and give you a proper response back on your best funding option and options. I have systems built for these specific things, so I'm not having to get on phone call after phone calls throughout the day. I'm not in any way enjoying doing that, where I have to out of the blue do that. So that'll be everything from me. Appreciate you all for tuning in. This is, again, tough love, not aggressive, not negativity. I know how that can seem if this is your first time watching me and thinking this guy's full of, no, I'm not. I'm an actual nice person. In my personal life, I never am like this, ever. But it is caused upon all of this that I get from the other side. I guess can't even imagine. Oh my God. Like, people go, well, you should have had fun. Well, you should have gave me the documents when you were asked to give them to me. You haven't even done none of that in the meantime. Like, where are you? We could have closed this in a week, but you didn't even send what I've asked of you. I got busy and I didn't do this and I didn't do that. And just give me answers. Don't give me more problems. We solved the main problem, however deep we needed to get into. Now it's time for you to step up to the plate and swing, hit the ball. You don't have to necessarily get a home run, but put it in play. That's everything from me. Talk to y'all soon. Take care.